after a bit of a lobby glitch. We're now back up and running, so if you have watched Australia, this is where you should be now, and if you are watching live, come and tune in once more. We should get ourselves underway and racing very, very shortly, and hopefully a bit of a smoother sailing ride as we attempt to get ourselves ready for the Dutch Grand Prix after a very thrilling Australian Grand Prix, giving us a very, very tasty fight for the race lead in the dying stages. So welcome in. No intro for this one because I haven't actually written one. I wasn't planning to do exclusively a Dutch Grand Prix intro, so I'll try and wing it as best I can. But yeah, we've got the stream up and running. It shouldn't be too long, so get yourselves in, get yourself comfortable, and we'll have ourselves ready to go racing very shortly. I don't have the link copied, so it's just going to be left in. But I think we are getting ourselves underway and racing. Are you allowed to back up the grid in a safety car phase to do this? Yep, I think so. As long as you're not going dangerously slowly, you should be able to. You can back up, like you can go slower, of course, to adhere to the delta. But yeah, there's nothing. As long as you're not like brake checking people, you should be absolutely fine. Back again, keep your love up. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely disgusting. It'd be so much better if they just got random. Like, just imagine Bill from down the street, the construction worker fella, coming into the villa. Like, how much better would that be rather than six-pack ab, bloody pencil V-taper, and the Satsumas of, you know, fake women. Like, it'd just be so much better. But yeah, MX, I mean, you've got no reason to complain anyway because you jumped him in the pit lane. So there's no reason to complain whether or not you should have gotten through it or whatever. So nonetheless, though, we're here back for race number 2 for the Dutch Grand Prix. Season 4, round number 1 of the APPF1 Sprint Series. And it's going to be a pretty good one, I'm sure, because of the action that we've had throughout the night. And, well, hopefully it could have gone a little bit smoother, but oh well. Now getting ourselves ready for the start of the race for the Dutch Grand Prix. So it is the Mercedes on pole. We go to the formation lap. It's Starry on pole position, Gilbert alongside, and Sumo in P3 with Tier P4, Max in P5, Patterson in P6, Vardy P7 with Ted P8, Davila P9 with MX rounding off the top 10, Ghosts in P11 with AP in P12, Pommy, Alex and Zuba, the DNFs from last race, find themselves 13th and 14th. So it's going to be a good race around Zandvoort. I think everyone probably going for the same tyres. No, bit of different ones up and down. Palv's going for the softs this time around as opposed to the hard compound tyres. So switching it up a little bit and going for something different. Can never ever go wrong with that one. Here we are again, we're back. But yeah, here we go. 18 laps ready of the Zandvoort circuit. It's going to be a good one for sure. Zuba, is that Ghost? That Ghost always does this. He backs everyone up. He backs everyone up. Look how far back he is. He's not even through sector 1 yet. And now we're finally through sector 1. But yeah, it took him a while to get there. Hopefully he can go a little bit quicker when the green flag drops and the lights are out. But yeah, interesting one. But Starry's going to be starting on the grid for quite a while on their soft tyres, and Gilbert alongside on the mediums should get a slower start in theory. Stewards. What is that? What's up with the stewards? What's up with the stewards? What have they done wrong? But nonetheless, we're rounding through turn 15. Then second time is the charm, as they line themselves up on the grid, ready then for 5 red lights of the Dutch Grand Prix. Should be an interesting one. Overtaking is going to be very difficult, but we said the same about Australia, and we had a great race there, so never ever say never. Lap record on the formation lap, indeed it is. Indeed it was a lap record. I mean, he's not that far behind, he's now lining up as well, so he took his time, but he managed to catch up towards the end of the formation lap, so it's all good. It's a short run towards turn 1, and hopefully we can wait for the 5 red lights to illuminate your screen then. Green flag is waved. We go to 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights for race 2. The Dutch Grand Prix is underway, and it's a good start from the Red Bull in second place. Gilbert already pulling alongside, coming towards turn 1, but a second phase for Starry. He sees himself ahead. That's Tier up the inside and up into second place. Bit of contact to the rear end of Starry as they all funnel their way through turn 1. That is Gilbert trying to come back at him. There's contact. Gilbert's rounding in the wall. Big crash on the opening lap of the Dutch Grand Prix. No full course yellow, but Gilbert got it all wrong. That's Ted also involved in a spin. He's gone round as well as they all find their way up the hill towards turn 8. The fast right-hander, great start for a lot of people. Palf's already up into, no, in fact he's not, he's actually into first place somehow. No, he's not, he's quite far back, and the tower just really trying to sort itself out, but they all funnel their way through. Sector 1, Ghost up into P9 on those mediums, and on the back of Davila, trying to find a way through the top 4 from the last race, staying station. MX, Davila, Ghost and Palf staying in the same positions, or staying where they are. None of them overtaking each other. So Tier at the front trying to put that pressure on Starry, but Starry leading the way fairly comfortably. Tier behind, Sumo in P3, Patterson chasing them down with Max P5. Vardy also there in the mix on those medium tyres. MX trying to put that pressure on Ghost, looking to the inside of Davila, can't quite find a way through, and that swamped exit is going to allow Palfs to maybe have a look towards turn 1 if he's tugged up nicely in the slipstream. Starry goes fastest to the first lap then, and the fight for P9 with Palfs closing, balls to the right hand side towards turn 1. 2 by 2 they go. Is Ghost going to look to the inside? Is Davila going to look to the inside of MX? Down the inside goes Palfs. Ghost around the outside, keeps him pinned and keeps the foot in and stays ahead of the Alpine as they go towards turn number 4. And now the Alpine is on a charge. He's trying to keep that pressure on. 2 guys into the pit lane, both Red Bulls having to double stack unfortunately. And now putting that pressure on. Davila looking to the inside of MX, who goes a little bit wide. That's a car off. That is Tier off at turn number 8. And that's yellow flags out in sector 2, and that's a shame for him. He's plummeted back down to the back of the grid, unfortunately, which is a shame for him because he was having a good race up until then, up in second place. But still, Starry leads from Sumo, who's trying to put that pressure on and go for that race win. But Vardy on the back of Patterson, pulls to the left-hand side. Patterson defending, Vardy looking for the space on the inside towards the chicane. Can't quite get it up the inside though, unfortunately. So he's going to wait and try and get that move done towards turn 1 if he can, but very much a train. That's Davila looking to get past MX around the outside. Is he going to get it converted? They've driven each other off the track and they're on the wall. Davila's in the wall, MX into the gravel, and MX just drove Davila into the wall. What happened there, maybe he got over the curb or something, but that is very much Davila's race ruined, and MX just sort of went straight, just drove into the side of him and just went straight. I'm not sure what MX was doing, whether there was I'm sure it was an honest mistake and not deliberate, but what happened? He just seemed to go straight. Yes, Ben, I am indeed. After this one, should be straight after, in fact, because of the delay. But Powell's putting the pressure on Ghost. He's now up into P6. Should be blitzing past on those soft compound tyres, but instead isn't. Taking his time with Powell's going very sideways, and he spun round. There had to be a Powell spin at one point, and he's been spun round, and he's now behind MX and down to P9. That's a shame after the highs of Australia. Max up into P3. He's got both Aston Martins breathing down his neck of Vardy and Ghost. A very lethal pairing. 1 and 2 in the championship back in season 1 of the Spring Championship, and they're now teammates once more. They steal the Constructors' Championship also, and are both doing extremely well. 4th and 5th at the moment and chasing after that podium. But Starry still leading the way after a pretty dismal home race. 1.2 seconds is the gap back to Sumo as we cross the line for lap number 3, lap number 4 even. So DRS enabled. Ghost on the back of his teammate, who pulls to the right hand side and doesn't fight that one too hard and just lets him go. He knows Ghost is the quicker car and wants to stay behind DRS and maybe put the pressure on. Zuba up into P7 and putting that pressure on. Palfs is DNF from the session. He's had a crash off the exit of the banking. Patterson getting it all wrong. He's had to come into the pits for medium tyres. What's happened to Palfs? He's got it all wrong off the banking and into the wall. And that's a shame for Palfs. After a win in Australia, he comes to Zandvoort and is out of the race on lap number 4, and that's going to be pretty harsh for his championship because he's not going to be scoring any points, but still a win in the pocket. Still positives to take. Lap 4 of 18 then, and we're about halfway through with Starry, Sumo, Max, Ghost and Vardy your top 5, with Pomme, Alex, Zuba, MX, Patterson and Gilbert rounding off the top 10. Those are your main point scorers, but still points up and down the grid. Don't forget, if you finish the race you score at least 1 point. Starting it believe 20 going down, 19, 18, etc, etc. But Sumo very close to the back of Starry now in his AlphaTauri, searching for that race win after some pretty poor luck all throughout pre-season. He's coming into the first round of Season 4 punching. Fastest lap 12.333, but Ghost beats that immediately with a 12.1 on the back of Max, in fact, who's looking to chase after his podium here in Zandvoort. He's currently P3 and looking good. MX gets past Zuber, who has to tuck in for P8. MX back on a charge then to try and reseal the deal and get him back into that fight at the front. Sumo still on the back of Starry. Max 3.4 seconds adrift. Both Aston Martins breathing down his neck. As we've been saying for the past couple of laps, Max has not got it easy. He's got a champion. He's got two champions on his tail. And he's got two absolutely incredible drivers right behind him. That is, I believe, one of the Hasses. That's Tyr going off at the final corner, reversing onto the track and coming off just in front of Ted, who gets his way past. Ghost putting that pressure on Sumo once more. Purple to the middle sector. Can Max hang on? Is he going to defend this one? He knows how to make that car wide, and that car is going to be extremely wide, especially around a track such as Zandvoort. He's going to park the bus and do his best. That's a Mercedes, I believe, with Patterson going round. On the exit of turn number 9 into 10, we're onto the pit straight once more. Sumo closing, but not quite able to close enough onto the back of Starry. Max defends to the inside. Here comes Ghost closing at a rate of knots, using a lot of ERS to bridge that gap. Is it going to be enough towards turn 1? Not quite going to be able to get it, but he tries his best anyway, and that's a valiant effort. And he's going to be closing the gap ever so slightly, chipping away at it, trying to get his way ahead of the youngster, to try and get his way into the lead of the championship, which at the moment Ghost will be leading the championship because of Paus's DNF. And I think Paus might actually be quite far down the championship because everyone's scoring points, but we'll have to wait and see. Ghost on the back, Sumo on the back of Starry though. The fight for the race lead very much truly on. The Australian versus the Brit. Can Sumo get his way into the lead of the race? He's in DRS. Starry with nothing in front of him, but he's saved a bit of ERS to use. He's not under pressure in towards turn 12 and 13. Sumo not able to go for that move, and Starry's soft tyres are going to be starting to feel a bit of a hit, as they've been doing around about 5.5 laps now, 5 2/3 of a lap in fact, as they cross the line for sector 3, and now through the final sector, the final corner of turn 15. Starry immediately to the inside. Sumo is closing and closing, but he's not got a lot of ERS in the bank. He's closing enough, looks to the inside, not quite going to be able to go for it. We've looked back to Ghost, he's going to fill the space. Max gives him the space. Down the inside goes the Aston Martin, but the McLaren's going to look all the way around the outside, trying to keep that footed, but the Aston Martin just runs him out of road. Over the curb goes Max, keeping his footing. It's the outside for turn number 3. It's going to be the inside for 4. He sends it back up the inside. Max, I told you he was going to make that McLaren as wide as possible. Ghost still trying to go around the outside, but Max just seals the deal and it claims the corner. Ghost having to stay behind once more. Great racing from Max to stay in front and stay on that podium. Ghost unable to find a way through. We go back for the fight for the lead of the race between Sumo and Starry. And can the AlphaTauri find a way through? He's been lurking in the background. He's been looking for it, but we're now approaching halfway through this race. Lap 7 of 18, around about a third of the way through, just gone. Patterson has retired. He's had a crash through in towards turn 4, and that's a safety car being brought out. A full course safety car, not a VSC, a full safety car. Yeah, great racing from the young Max, indeed. And what pit stops is this going to trigger? Starry's going to go to the mediums, and I think Sumo, Max, Ghost, MX, and all of that are going to go for the softs to the end. They should make it, but we'll have to wait and see who's going to come in. But it's going to be a very, very busy pit lane indeed. To the pit lane they come. Yeah, Sumo strapping on those soft compound tyres to the end of the race. Should be fairly comfortable, but we'll see. But they all head out now. It's still Starry that leads on those mediums. Sumo P2, MX maybe jumping into P3. No, unfortunately not. So Max stays out. In fact, Max is going for a weird strategy here. He's staying out on those mediums, going long, and is going to lead on off the safety car. He's going to have to pit, of course, to change compound. You can't do the whole race on one set of tyres or on the same compound of tyres. You have to swap, go from soft to medium to hard, medium to soft, whatever it might be, but you can't do soft, whatever. You have to change compound. You have to go from a red to a yellow or whatever. If you are new to Formula 1, you have to change compound. And I think a lot of people would be quite ambitious in these 25% races. They'd probably strap on the hards and just go to the end of the race. in order to not pit. That could be an interesting strategy if you disable the rules and regulations, but that would then mean that you get corner cutting galore. So unfortunately, no. Well, there's full-on manual pit stops. Oh no, Max, what a shame. I mean, it's not over till it's over. Don't count him out. There could be another safety car. Who knows? In this race, he might pit this lap, but that would be pretty. Yeah, he might as well just take his chances on another safety car because he'll be right at the back of the pack, behind Vardy, I think, down in P8, just in front of Zuber. Yeah, he filtered his way outside VP1. Or into P7 even, but he comes into the pit lane. Let's see where he comes out. He comes in, he's going to strap on the softs, he's going to be using a lot of time, as well as Pommy Alex, who comes in, didn't want to double stack. No, it's Ghost that comes in. Ghost had to stay out as well, and is going to lose a lot of time. So in he comes then, and a wing change as well for Ghost, so he must have had some contact, and wing damage is very prevalent in this new game. So Starry retakes the lead, MX onto the podium, Pommy Alex in P4 with Vardy P5 as we reach the halfway point. Very interesting turn of events then, Tier also in. So some very late calls under the safety car. Maybe they didn't want to double stack with their teammates. I think that was probably what caused Ghost to stay out, was the fact that his teammate also did. So still a long way to go. Still half of the race left to go. So Ghost in P10. This is going to be music to Pouter's ears that one of his main rivals is well, not doing too well, and will be only scoring 10 points compared to the 20 that he could be scoring if he perhaps went on to win this race. Still fresh off compound tyres is Ghost. Anyone can do it, he can. So he's going to try his best. As the safety car will hopefully be in this lap. Everyone's here and ready to go. So Starry will lead us off then. He's got Sumo raring behind him on some fresh off compound tyres, but with a 3-second time penalty, or even a 5-second penalty. It's 5 seconds for Sumo. So Starry's chance of a race win ever likely, but he's got four very aggressive drivers right behind him, ready to pounce at any opportunity they can. He's weaving around, trying to get some temperature into those tyres, left and right to left. Getting some temperature into those medium tyres, ready to punch it as soon as the safety car light goes off. And then he'll punch it, and he's revving up the car. When is he going to go for it? He's backing up the grid. Sumo raring to go, nearly a bit of contact under the safety car. We're back on the green flag racing. What a restart for MX. Vardy's retired under the safety car. MX though put into the right hand side of Sumo now towards turn 1. The Alfa Romeo on the inside. Can he send it? Sumo on the outside. He's going to trail brake all the way through, but MX takes the corner. Vardy retired under the safety car, went straight into the exit of the banking at turn 15. MX into P2. Great restart from him. Sumo down to P3. Pommy Alex P4. Zuba up to 5th. Davila 6th. Ghost up into 8th place already, with Max down to P11. Can he find a way to recompose himself? He's got wing damage though, has the youngster, so a good race turned sour for him, unfortunately. So MX then on the back of Starry, this fight for the lead of the race. Sumo still putting the pressure on, looking to the inside of turn number 10. He's going to go for it, brake late, not quite going to be able to go for it unfortunately, but he's putting that pressure on, filling MX's mirrors and trying his best to make him go into a mistake, whatever it might be. But if these two fight, then Starry's going to be licking his lips and trying to get further away. Look at the closing speed on the braking for Sumo. Really managed to bridge that gap a little bit, as they all follow a pretty orthodox racing line through turn 13 in towards 14, the penultimate corner. MX needs a good launch. He's going to use that ERS. So too is Sumo. No DRS, of course, as we approach lap 11 of 18. Starry already defending to the inside, weaving around, trying to break the toe. MX closing at a rate of knots. He's going to pull to the right hand side. Is it going to be late enough? Under brakes, looks, but doesn't send quite enough, and MX gets sent in deep. Sumo could look for a move, but all Starry has to do is park the bus and be quick where he needs to be quick, and that's the exit of turn 14 onto 15. And also down the straight towards turn 13 and 12. Gilbert on the back of Suba, around the outside goes Gilbert, tries it, but it gets too swamped over that curb, and goes picks up the pieces, gets himself into the top 7. There's the Aston Martin on an absolute charge on those fresh soft compound tyres. Gets up the inside of Zuba as well. He goes very wide through turn number 8, and down the inside goes Ghost into turn 9. Good couple of corners. And who says you can't overtake it, Zambot? Down the inside goes Gilbert as well. He wants a slice of the cake. Tier as well, getting a swamped AlphaTauri, who's lost a lot of momentum. Tier around the outside, trying it. We'll go back on board with MX, who's trying to go around the outside of Starry. Gets it done. Bit of contact between the two. He swamped his front wing, and maybe Starry's got a bit of damage. Very aggressive from MX to swoop around the outside. Starry's going to try and stay with him, though. Looks to the inside for the penultimate corner. Doesn't quite convert, but he's going to have the slipstream down towards turn 1. Can he get it done? The Mercedes lurking in the background. So too is Sumo, looking to get himself back onto the second step of the podium. MX defends, they all follow him. The Mercedes pulls to the left hand side. It'll be the outside for turn 1. Can he go for it? MX goes in deep. Can they get the switcheroo? Sumo looking down the inside of the Mercedes as well on those soft tyres. They're going to be side by side through turn 2 and 3. The Mercedes on the outside. Starry trying it but has to back out, and Sumo up into second place and now trying to chase down MX. So a pretty poor couple of corners for Starry, who lost not 1 but 2 places to both MX and Sumo. Unfortunately for him. But yeah, very aggressive from MX, just swooped around the outside, used that overspeed and just kept it there. But Sumo, yeah, definitely putting that pressure on him and not letting him go. That 5-second penalty is going to be hard to contend with. And we'll see what the stewards say about that incident between MX and Davila, because that was a race-ruining incident potentially, had it not been for the safety car. Or 2 safety cars, in fact. No, it was just one. It was just one. I've lost my bearings a little bit, but Davila on the back of Pomme Alex, he's definitely got a chance to the podium here. And that'll be a fantastic recovery drive if he can. Ghost as well, lurking behind. Lap 12 of 18. We're now entering the final 6 laps of this Grand Prix, of what has been a very action-packed Grand Prix at that. Sumo in the DRS. He's going to close on MX. He's going to try and bridge the gap as best he can. Both very low on ERS. Sumo closing at a rate of knots. Pulls to the left-hand side. MX goes with him. Sumo brakes late. He tries it. He's going to swoop all the way around the outside. MX squeezing him all the way to the edge of the track. Great racing between the two. Into turn 3. Swooping through turn 3. Sumo is ahead and into the lead of the race. And now it's up to him how well he can pull away and get that gap over MX, who gets a bit of a squirm off of turn number 4. But Starry's still there. He's not letting these guys go. And as long as he can lurk in the background, if MX gets a penalty, Sumo's got one. So he could still be within the shout for a podium at the very least. The Ghost still on the back of Davila. Great racing between everyone so far this race. Sumo, definitely. Sumo. But he's going to hope that MX gets a bit caught up. Pomme Alex going quite deep into turn 10. That's going to set him up pretty poorly for turn 11. So then DRS open for Davila, so too for Pomme Alex. That's going to help him defend. He's weaving around the track, doesn't know where to go in order to defend that position. We're going to cut back to the fight for the race lead between MX and Sumo, because MX is all over the back of the AlphaTauri. Into the penultimate corner we go and finish off lap 13 onto 14. And we've had to change the race lead for the past 3 laps now, blitzing their way through the banking. To the right hand side goes Sumo. MX follows in a nice conga line-esque fashion, pulling to the left hand side. Sumo defends. Can MX swoop all the way around the outside? He tries it. He's going to keep him there. He goes all the way around the outside now, side by side with Sumo once more. It's MX on the outside this time around. He swoops all the way, still side by side. The AlphaTauri trying it around the outside, but MX gets it stopped nicely for turn 4, and the AlphaTauri having to settle once more for second place, and that's keeping Starry in the mix, and he's ready to pick up the pieces once these soft compound tyres start going off. Davila in P5, Ghost in P6 also. And these two are going to be looking to cut through, but you just can't quite find a way through in these DRS trains at Zambot. You really do need a fierce advantage in order to get their way through, such as a mistake or a sheer tyre advantage or DRS, whatever it might be. Davila getting a nice switcheroo. The Alpines do like their switcheroos today. This time it's for P4, not quite enough to get the move done though. But a valiant effort. Pomme Alex deep into turn 12. But Davila just still can't find a way through, and Pomme Alex still going to have the DRS down the pit straight. Cut back to Sumo and MX, who are going to be fighting. Sumo using his DRS, so too is MX. They're going to have the drag reduction system once more down the pit straight. These two been swapping positions left, right and centre over the last couple of laps. MX defends once more to the left hand side. Again goes Sumo. Is he going to go around the outside? Yes, he is. So close to contact. MX forces him all the way to the outside of the circuit, but this time MX stays ahead once more, and Sumo needs to put that pressure on Davila and Ghost still staying station. It's a 6-car train for the race lead. It's all aboard the MX train. It's going to be fighting really very hard. Tucked up in the DRS and slipstream. MX from Sumo. Starry 1.1 seconds back. Maybe a bit of a mistake. This is Davila looking to the inside of Pomme Alex, not quite able to get his way up. But Sumo still putting that pressure on MX, not letting him go whatsoever. Lap 15 of 18, about 4.5 laps, or 3.5 laps left of this race remaining. DRS open, He's not quite going to be close enough into turn 12. This is Davila on the back of Pomme Alex, not quite able to either. And Max, a 3-second penalty, 26 seconds back, unfortunately for him. But Pomme Alex trying to chase down Starry for that podium place in P3. He's hanging on brilliantly despite being on the slower tyre. Back to the front between Sumo and MX because Sumo's going to try and have another crack at it. MX once more to the inside. Sumo pull into the left. He's going to keep him pinned. MX brings him back over to the right hand side, but Sumo is ahead before the corner and retakes that race lead. But we go back. Ghost getting past Davila. There's carbon fibre in the air. That's Davila's front wing, or even Pomme Alex's front wing, as Ghost gets them both in one fell swoop. Davila down to 6th and with some heavy wing damage to the front right end plate there. That's unfortunate for him. He's out of the... And that's unfortunate for him to have lost that front wing because he's out of contention now. But Ghost still on the back of Starry. And if anyone can get through, it's going to be him. He's got a nice bit of ERS in that battery compared to Starry, who's barely got any. And MX and Scott's right. Sumo needs to save a bit of ERS and try and be on the charge because he's got about 2.5 laps left of this race. And a 5-second penalty. We see him all the way down in P6 just about. Or probably P5 after Davila's wing damage sets him back a little bit further. So yeah, unfortunate for Sumo, he's going to lose quite a few places despite winning on track, if he does win on track at the end of it. But he needs to start pushing. Hammer time for him. Back to the front. MX on the back of him, literally equal on ERS, and MX has gone round. Oh no, he spun at the bank and he's backwards, and Starry's into P2. Ghost onto the podium. Pomme Alex P4, and MX has rounded the very last corner through the banking, just lost the rear end using too much ERS. As Davila gets his way past, MX is going to try and fight it, but he can't. And Davila limping home is going to hold up MX as well. So that's another bottle for MX. A little bit too aggressive through the final corner using ERS. Caught up in the dirty air and around he went. So Starry into P2. And at the moment it's a net race lead for Starry after Sumo's penalty. And on to the penultimate lap of the race. Can Starry hang on? Will Ghost go for the move? Can Pomme Alex get himself onto the podium as well? This has been 2 cracking races for Australia and Zandvoort. We didn't think they'd be this exciting because of the natures of the circuit, but oh my god, have they brought some good racing. MX still trying to find a way through on Davila, who's defending P5 quite harshly. The inside for turn 11, these two have been having incidents, and Davila's gone round once more, tagged the inside of MX, who went around the outside, and another bit of contact between the two. And remember, look back to Monza in pre-season. They came together on the penultimate lap fighting for the lead, with MX sending it up the inside, and unfortunately for Davila, MX went spinning round. But DRS open for Pomme Alex here again. Has also got some nice ERS in the battery. Ghost pulling to the right hand side of Starry. Gets himself ahead before the corner. And Starry going to try and fight it. But Ghost into the net race lead. Now in the Aston Martin. He's going for a first and a second in today's races. And that's unfortunate for Pauks. He's not going to be liking the sight of that. But Starry's still putting that pressure on. Still possible. The final lap of this race, then Sumo leads from Ghost and Starry rounds off the podium, but Pomme Alex is going to inherit that because of Sumo's penalty under the in the pit lane probably. Now, unfortunately for Davila, he's quite far down and losing places because of that wing damage. But Ghost closing on Sumo, who's going to hopefully hang on to win the race on track at the very least, which is the least he deserves, I think, and it'll be P4 at the road for him. Which is a shame because definitely the win was his. He deserved it today. And who knows, maybe the 5 seconds can be removed at the end and him still win the race. But I think for Starry and Pomme Alex, that's all that matters because they're going to see themselves on the podium. As long as they keep it clean for the final couple of corners, maybe Pomme Alex can launch an attack, a drag race to the line. Sumo has fought brilliantly against MX. He's going to come across the line to take the win of the Dutch Grand Prix on track. But Ghost in second place takes the win with Starry and Pomme Alex second and third. What a result for them two. Starry in second after a pretty shambolic first home race. He bounces back for the Netherlands and started on pole, finishes second. Pomme Alex in P3, Sumo P4 with MX P5, and Zuba a pretty good P6 from the back of the grid. In fact, P7 because of his penalty. It's a shame for Sumo, but P4 still a good result, and the on-track victory, I'm sure, is all that mattered for him and MX. Very much the bottle job here today. Drove Davila off the track at the penultimate corner and then decided to spin himself out through the banking. But unfortunate for MX, he brings it home P5, still a good result, and could have won that race. But pushing a little bit too hard through the final corner. Yeah, Alex doing a great job. Both Aussies making up for their home races here in the Netherlands. A second and third for them both. Should get that removed, got hit under safety car, so it's still Sumo's win, potentially. It's only provisional results. Ghost with the driver of the day, very well deserved, fought his way through brilliantly, despite being caught up under the safety car. So after 18 laps of brilliant racing, drama and excitement, it's Ghost that takes the win. Ghost takes the win. Then fastest lap as well, maximum points, 21 in fact, going back to the Aston Martin factory. Starry and Pommy Alex make up an Aussie 2-3 with Sumo P4. Provisionally though, that 5 seconds should be removed. According to him, MX in P5 with Gilbert P6, super an impressive result. P7 Davila in P8 with Tia and Ted rounding off the top 10 with Max in P11. Vardy, Patterson and Paus round off the grid in P12, 13 and 14. But after the Dutch Grand Prix, a tough one for Paus indeed, but still got the positive of that race win in Australia. Still overall an incredible night of racing, and if that's anything to go by, next week in Silverstone and Sochi should be even better with the tracks notoriously decent for overtaking, especially Silverstone. But nonetheless, it's been an absolute pleasure commentating this, guys, and I look forward to the rest of the season. Join me next week, next Sunday, the 29th of August, for the British and Russian Grand Prix, round number 2 of the Sprint Championship. It's been an absolutely incredible season opener, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.